I believe that work, or the opportunity to work and serve others, is a blessing from God. You can download a free pocket guide and see more on this topic also at our website, and also download the daily routine. What do you think of when you think about work? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Is it money, uncertainty, stress, frustration, or retirement? We have to be honest that after the fall of man and sin came into this world, work has not all been roses. Genesis 3 verse 19 we read, you will have to sweat to earn a living. I believe work is a blessing from God, but let's admit it, sometimes it can feel like a curse from the devil. Work can sometimes be boring, sometimes too long hours, too demanding. Sometimes we have little say or control in it. Sometimes we have too much responsibility. Since the fall of man, work has not been the same, and certainly not what God has intended it to be. God worked and He created this earth. He created day and night and finished the whole creation. On the seventh day He rested. God created this world with a natural rhythm. Day and night, sun and moon, summer, winter, sleep and awake. A heartbeat has a natural rhythm. Work and rest forms an important part of this natural routine and rhythm that God created. A routine and a rhythm is important for our well-being. Exodus 20 we read, 6 days thou shalt labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath, and thou shalt rest. Work is part of that natural rhythm that God created. Like our heartbeat has a natural rhythm, so we have a natural rhythm. If our heartbeat gets disturbed, we stop living. Work restores our natural rhythm. It's an important part in that daily routine. It helps us to get out of the bed in the morning, to wash our face, brush our teeth, and to go to work. Late in the day we come home tired and ready for bed. We do this 6 days a week, and then we rest on the Sabbath. Part of a daily routine can include going to bed early, setting an alarm clock and waking up early in the morning, drinking our water, reading our Bible, praying, seeking God's will, exercising, going to work and serving others. Work and service is an important part of our daily routine and restoring our natural rhythm. God worked, and He created this earth. We can either believe where we came from, evolution, or we can believe that God created us. What a difference it makes. Created in God's image. What does that mean to you? Physically, mentally, being creative, rule over the earth, or work and serve? Key concept number 2, we were created in God's image, created to have dominion over God's creation and work 6 days and rest the seventh day. Psalm 8 says we were created a little bit lower than the angels, or Elohim, God Himself. We are created in God's image to have dominion over God's creation, with the ability to be creative, clever, capable, motivated, pioneering, and imaginative. How to be a good wife. If you are familiar with this, have dinner ready, plan ahead, prepare yourself, clear away the clutter, prepare the children, minimize all noise, don't greet him with problems, make him comfortable. I think how to be a good housewife is inappropriate, a great idea, or not enough. What do you think about this, being a good housewife? How to be a good housewife. Listen to him or her. Make the evening his or hers. The goal to make your home a place of peace and order where your husband or wife can relax in body and spirit. How to be a good wife and husband. Listen to him or her. Make the evening his or hers. The goal to make your home a place of peace and order where your husband and wife can relax in body and spirit. For me, work and service starts in your own house. How to be a good husband or wife. The goal to make your home a place of peace and order where your husband and wife can relax in body and spirit. Show some caring in your relationship and serving towards your spouse. Work and service starts at home, serving your spouse and your children. Remember, feelings follow action. If you don't love your spouse, maybe you have stopped serving them. They probably haven't changed that much. Who should work? Everybody should work. My mom always says, never do for a child what he can do for himself. Remember, our feelings follow action. What we do determines how we feel. If you serve your spouse, feelings of love and caring will follow. In Proverbs 31, we read the wife of a noble character. She works with eager hands. She gets up while it's still night and she provides for her family. She sets about her work vigorously. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out. Work and serving your spouse can teach you empathy, love, and sensitivity. How to be a good wife or husband? Serve your spouse and have empathy if they are tired. Serving others starts at home. Feelings follow action. My friend David has some good advice when his wife becomes unhappy. He says, it's time for some therapy, my dear. Yes, you guessed it, occupational therapy. Time to get a job. It makes us get out of the house and gives us joy and happiness. Key concept number 4, work and service changes you. It's that positive action that changes you. Feelings follow action. Proverbs 16 verse 3, commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. Work and service is that positive action that changes you. A grandson once asked his grandpa, Grandpa, why should I read the Bible? I forget everything. And Grandpa said, take this dirty old coal bag down to the river and fill it up with water and bring it back to me. And his grandson ran down and brought it back, and the bag is empty. And Grandpa said, run faster next time. Run down, fill this bag with water and bring it back to me. And he says, Grandpa, I can't do this. Can't do this. And he tried a couple more times. His grandpa said, look at the bag. The bag was all washed white. Work and service changes you. It's that positive action that causes change in you. Feelings follow action. From a dirty old bag to a clean bag, the action changes you. Emerson says, it's one of the most beautiful compensations in life that no person can help another without helping themselves. Once upon a time, elders met in a church about the empty pews and sermons that were too long and other problems with their pastors. It happened that in the corner of the room was a parrot who spent most of his life at sea. There he learned some rough language from sailors. One elder said, our pastor is a good man, but I see no other remedy. Suddenly the parrot blurted out and said, work, you lazy people, work. Work can keep you from judging others. When you focus on work God has given you, you will become less critical towards others. Work keeps us from idleness, trouble, and gossip. It has been said that idle time is the devil's playground, or similarly, that idle hands is the devil's workshop. What was King David doing when his men was out fighting? Do you remember? 2 Samuel 11 we read, in the spring at the time when kings go off to war, David sent Joab out with the king's men and the whole Israelite army. They destroyed the Ammonites and besieged Rahab. But David remained in Jerusalem. One evening David got up from his bed and walked around on the roof of the palace. From the roof he saw a woman bathing. And you know the rest of the story. An American professor asked 180 students to define the American dream. They all wanted the nice house, money, and jobs. And when they were asked what's the federal government's role in achieving their dreams, they wanted the government to pay for their tuition, give them jobs, give them money for houses, raise taxes on the rich people so that they can have more money and so forth. They said we are not really responsible for our own acts. Recently, the Wall Street Journal reported that for the first time in a nation's history, 51% of Americans will not pay income tax this year. Astonishing figure. On the second day, the professor asked the students to take out their wallets. And then he went around and took their cash and said, you know what, it's part of my dream to go on a vacation. And he took their money. The professor says, my student listened to a miniature lecture on our founder father's view of our rights, especially as it pertains to the pursuit of happiness. Many seem to comprehend, perhaps for the first time, that all of us have every right to pursue access to high-quality health care, a good job, a home, car, retirement, and whatever else we might want to peacefully acquire, but that no one has an inherent right to use the arm of government to forcibly take the private property of another citizen in order to obtain our desires. Work is the antidote to a sick society. Expecting others to do stuff for us makes us feel worthless. Receiving only and never helping others makes us end up feeling worthless. Key concept number 5, works makes us happy and gives us a meaning in life. Work makes you happy and brings you joy. In work we find the opportunity to serve, to be creative, find meaning in our lives, and it is in service that we find true happiness. I remember my grandmother, still at the old age of 93, working in her garden, and the joy and happiness she found of working every day. Attitude is 90%, and what happens to you is 10%. Succeeding at work, Einstein says, why he was so brilliant? He said, I stay with a problem longer than others. Persistence. When it comes to work, we need to persist and not just give up the first time. Albert Schweitzer says, one thing I know, the only one amongst you who will be really happy are those who will have sought and found how to serve. For true happiness, you have to serve and work. Henry Ford says, to do more for the world than the world does for you, that is success. It's only by giving are you able to receive more than you already have. There's a lot of reasons that we can have low job satisfaction, but we can employ strategies to improve our job satisfaction, including acquiring new skills, sharing with others, teaching other people, serving other people, and a lot of ways we can improve our quality of our work. Getting positive thoughts and attitudes towards our work, putting things in perspective, being grateful that we have a job. Key concept number 6, it's important for relationships. It's important to get to know myself. It's an important opportunity to serve others and an opportunity to serve God. Work gives you a good self-image to do a good job. Johari says, to acquire true self-knowledge, we need other people to see the part that we can't see. We need that interaction with other people. Otherwise, we develop a false self-image and have a poor self-image. We need other people, and work is a wonderful situation where we can learn what other people say about us and challenge ourselves to increase our self-knowledge and to have a good, true self-image. Work is an opportunity for relationships. Relationships are critical for our mental and physical health. It's an opportunity to participate in life. We need that. In Matthew 28 we read, therefore go and make disciples of all the nations, baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I've commanded you. Work is that opportunity to share with people God's love and mercy and grace, to reach out to them. If we work, we find opportunities to serve with meaning and creativity. We find meaning and joy in our work. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Work gives us a higher value. in life. Ask yourself, for who and why are you working? Key concept number 7. We need work for physical and mental well-being. It's in serving others that we find healing for our own depression and anxiety. In helping others, we help ourselves. We've talked about these examples in other talks. But Emerson says you can't help another or others and in the process not help yourself. It is in helping others that we find ways to solve our own problems. In the movie Life is Beautiful, a father takes care of his son in a concentration camp and helps him deal with his stress and anxiety, and through this forgets his own fears and anxieties. Eleanor Roosevelt said, when you cease to make a contribution, you begin to die. Key concept number 8. Work and service is biblical. Paul says, the one who is unwilling to work shall not eat. I believe work is a blessing from God. Work is part of the natural rhythm God created. We are created in God's image. Work and service starts at home. Work changes you. Work makes you happy and gives you meaning in life. It's an opportunity for relationships. It's in serving others that we find healing for our own depression and anxiety. We need it for physical and mental health. It is biblical to work. You're welcome to download a free pocket guide to holistic health, restoring a natural rhythm on our website, wildgameart.com, as well as a daily routine and menu. Work forms part of that daily routine and menu that we need to stay mentally, physically, and spiritually healthy.